Hi friends, in this video we will discuss how to configure SAML2 in OpenAM, how to access user profile federation in OpenAM, and how to configure SAML2 authentication module. So we will explain one by one. So first we will explain how to configure SAML2 in OpenAM. Hi friends. Today we will discuss how to configure OpenAM SAML2 federation. Okay. Here I am not going to show explaining the what the concept of the SAML2. I am focusing on the how to configure SAML2 in OpenAM. Okay, generally what is SAML2? So when you will use SAML2 concept, okay, the cross domain SSO will be achieved by using SAML2. Okay, so we have a different domain of applications like the two entities. So between two entities, how to achieve the single sign-on. Okay, and SAML2 happening between two different or same entities. The two entities are nothing but IDP and SP. IDP is nothing but identity provider having user credential. SP, that is a service provider not having user credential. So SP is depending on IDP to make the single sign-on. And metadata information will be exchanged between two entities in the format of XML. Okay. So you will get the more, you will see the more videos in the YouTube, how what is the SAML2 exactly, or how it is happening, the flow and all you can see it. Okay, but here I am focusing on the configuration of SAML2 in OpenAM. So what are the prerequisites for OpenAM SAML2 configuration? So we need two Tomcat server installation with the different ports. See, I am going to showing SAML2 in the same system. So that's why we need two different web servers, that is a Tomcat servers. Okay, and two OpenAM where files deployment. Okay, we need two OpenAM applications. So two host names configuration in host file. Okay, that host name is sp.example.net, that is belongs to like a service provider, and idp.example.org, that is belongs to IDP application, like IDP entity. Okay, so this is a prerequisite setup like installation type default. We will install the OpenAM as a default configuration. Okay, we are not going to installing a custom configuration. Okay, so Tomcat 1 SP, Tomcat 2 is a IDP. So installation type is a default configuration and default configuration. Installation path, the installation will be happened under the users directory like AMSP and here AMIDP. The port we are using 8082 in SP, 8083 in Tomcat. OpenAM URL would be like this: http sp.example.num 8082/AMSP. The same way we have a IDP also, AMIDP. And download metadata URL. This is the metadata URL of OpenAM for both applications like SP and IDP. So by using this URL, we can download the metadata information and we can share between the two entities. Okay. Yeah. Here we have I'm sharing here some important URLs. How to explore like a SP metadata URL for root relum, SP metadata URL for subrelum, and SP initiated URL. So once you configured, how to test the configuration whether it is working or whether it is working or not. So that is a SP initiated URL. Okay, this is the initiating from the SP side. The same way SP initiated URL for the subrelum. The same way we have a IDP. Okay, IDP metadata URL for root relum and subrelum, and initiated URL for root relum and initiated URL for subrelum. Okay, now we will show you how to configure it. Okay, so first of all you need to download Tomcat server and OpenAM WAR file. Okay, already I have downloaded. I will show you here. Log here and SML2. So we have to download Tomcat 8.5.4 and AM Evolution 6.5.2.2. So I'm showing the demo on these versions. Okay. So yeah, we need two Tomcat servers, and we need two OpenM WAR files. Okay, now what we'll do, so we'll extract this Tomcat zip file, extract here. Okay, so already I have given the more information about the Tomcat installation and the OpenM installation. Okay, so you can see that other videos. So I'm going to giving video links in the description. So here we have a Tomcat 8.5.0. So what we can say here, we can put name like some understandable name. Okay, SP Apache Tomcat 8.5.4. The same way we have to copy this one and paste it again. Yeah, now we have one more Tomcat. So we can just change the rename the folder. Okay, now how I'm renaming IDP. I'm putting IDP. Okay. See, now the same way we have to extract the OpenM WAR file. Okay, extract here. So instead of using the same name, we can use the what is the name we have given, like AMSP. Okay, AMSP, AMSP. The same way we have to extract one more time and rename that folder. Okay, now open this is the AMIDP. Okay, now we have two Tomcats are ready, two OpenM WAR files are ready. Okay, so and what is the prerequisite next? So port, we need to change the port. Okay, 8082. So go to IDP configuration. There is a server.xml there. Yeah, see here we need to, so we have to change this shutdown port also. It's like a 8083 8003, and here the port is 8080. So here I am giving what is this IDP. IDP is the 8083 I have given in the PPT. Okay, yeah, save it. And the same way we have to open SP1 also. So go to SP Tomcat, click on the server.xml. So here also we can change something like 8006, and here I am going to giving 8082. So this is the SP port. So Tomcat level server.xml changes done. Now you have to copy this WAR file into your respective Tomcat. So AMSP I'm copying into SP Tomcat. Okay, go to Tomcat web apps. Here you have to paste it. Yeah, it is done. Okay, now the same way copy AMIDP and put it into IDP Tomcat web apps folder. Yes, this is also done. Now the next step is we have to configure the host entries. So where is the host entries? So go to the C drive. There is a path C drive, Windows, System 32 drivers, etc. So here we have to open the host file. Okay, now we'll give this host names like this. Okay, 127.0.10.1. So what is the host name we have given here? sp.example.net. sp.example.net. The same way we have to copy 127.0.0.1 IDP example.org. So better copy these two lines and save it. So it is asking administration rights. So click on yes. It will give the administration rights. If you have already the administrator, then it will not ask. Okay. So again, I'm going to opening. Sorry. Okay. Now open the again over edit place. Now paste those two lines. save it. So now I'm closing the administrator mode of Notepad++. Okay, now so host names are also configured successfully. Now go to again our folder. So here we are, correct, the Tomcat web apps. Yeah, so IDP Tomcat and SP Tomcat ready. Then we have to install the OpenAM. Okay, so go to IDP and go to bin folder, type cmd, and we have to start the command cat run / space run. Yeah, it's AM IDP. Okay, just a second. What is this AM IDP? Oh, sorry, this is the we have extracted. So stop the Tomcat. So we have extracted the complete folder. Okay, remove from here. Okay, that folder having many things. Okay, now go to AM IDP. Okay, so here a lot of things are there. So we have to remove all those things. Just keep it the. Okay, we need this one. Okay, now so copy this name, put this like this. Okay, so I'm going to removing this one also. Yeah, and after that there is a ASP side also we have to do like this. Remove the all other unwanted files and rename AMSP. AMSP.var. So now copy AMIDP.var file into Tomcat IDP Tomcat. So we have to paste it here. Okay, then now start Catalina.bat. Yeah, now here you can see web apps AMIDP var file started deployment. Okay, the same way you can start the SP Tomcat also. Okay, go to that SP Tomcat. So before that, copy the SP var file and paste it into SP Tomcat. Okay, web apps folder. So we have to remove this one first, old one. Now paste it. Okay. Now open the command prompt for this also separately. And go to bin folder. Now start the catalina.run. Start the Tomcat by executing the catalina.bat run command. Okay. Yeah. So now we will use two browsers. One for the IDP, that is a Chrome. Sorry, Firefox, and we will use the Chrome for the SP. Okay. Now I'm going to opening Chrome browser. It may take more, maybe 1 to 2 minutes to start the application because of it depends on the your system performance. Okay. Yeah, I have opened the Chrome and I have opened the Firefox. So from Firefox we can access the IDP URL, and in the Chrome we can access SP URL. Okay. Now let's check this, whether it is started or not. So still starting the OpenAM. This is the IDP, and the same way AMSP. It is also started the deployment. Yeah, it is started IDP. So we can go here. What is the IDP URL? idp.example.net 8083/AM IDP. Correct? No, .net, not .net. I think it's org. We have given here IDP is .org. Okay, .org. Okay, now we got the configuration options. Okay, now the same way we have to access sp.example.net net. Now verify one more time that host name snet 8082/AMSB. Yeah, both are started. Both applications are deployed successfully, and we are able to see the configuration screen. Okay, so first we will install the IDP and then we will install the SP. Okay, now we have to select the default configuration. So we are in the IDP section. Okay, IDP section. So click on the create default configuration. Now select the license, accept the license agreement, and click on the continue. And here you have to give the AM admin password. So I'm giving some password. Re-enter the same password. So AM admin is the default username. He is a super user for the OpenAIM application. So click on the create configuration. So once it is done, then we have to install the SP because of OpenAIM internally installing the OpenDJ. So OpenDJ need the in different ports. So that's why second OpenAIM, whenever we are installing, we have to wait till completion of the first OpenAIM, because the second OpenAIM also will might be use the same port. So if already installed that OpenAIM, so internally it will check that port is available or not. If not available, it will create the new port for the OpenDJ. So that's why we have to wait till completion of the first OpenAIM installation. So it may take maybe 1 minute. It is also depends on the system performance. Now here you can see configuration completed. Okay, so now we will install. Now click on the proceed to login. Proceed to login. Yeah, we got the login page of IDP server. Okay, now enter the default username is AMadmin and password is what we have entered in the installation time. Click on login. Yeah, now we are able to log in into IDP application successfully. The same way we can try to install SP application also. Okay, the service provider application. Now click on the create default configuration and then accept the license agreement. Click on continue. Here also you have to give the password. So you can give the same password or different password, that is not a problem. Giving the same password to understanding. Yeah, click on the create configuration. So this one also will take some time to installation. Okay, so meanwhile we will do the configuration in the IDP level. Okay, yeah, go to this IDP. So here we have a top level realm. So we are going to configuring SAML2 in top level realm. Okay, so click on the top level realm. Here you can see in the dashboard there is a configure SAML2 provider. So click on the configure SAML2 provider. Here we have four options. One is the create hosted identity provider, create hosted service provider, configure remote identity provider, configure remote service provider. So now it is IDP server, correct? So we have to configure in two options. One is that create hosted identity provider and configure remote service provider. So these two options we need to configure in the OpenAIM IDP server. Okay, these remaining two are configured in the SP level. Okay, this is the very important, like which one we have to configure in the which server. Okay, so we need to remember hosted identity provider and configure remote service provider. Okay, click on the hosted identity provider. Yeah, here you can see what is the metadata and signing key. There is a signing key default. We have a test. Okay, we can use this signing key for a certain encryption of SAML data. Okay. Okay, we are using the self-signed, or test is the self-signed certificate. Okay, and circle of trust we can create. Okay, I'm going to creating some my COT. This is the just understand the circle of trust. In this, whatever the applications you have configured, that is a group of applications. It's like a name, we can say category. Okay, so you can give the any name here. Okay, and yeah, So here you can give that mail attribute. Okay. Name in assertion, and in the XML format we are giving the response correct. So there, that this is the attribute name, this is the value we'll get from the OpenDJ. So OpenDJ parameter name we have to give. We click on the add. Okay, that's all. Now click on the configure. Yeah, click on the finish. Yeah, now go to, you can see that whether it is configured or not, like that. So go to applications, go to federation. There, here you can see my COT and one entity is there. Okay, so click on the entity provider. There you can see the entity details and all. So this is the circle of trust. In the circle of trust we have this one. Okay, so you can see here SAML to V2 protocol, and the type is IDP and location is hosted. Okay, now let's see now SP service provider application is installed or not. Okay, now go to this one. So this is also installed successfully. Click on the proceed to login. Okay. Yeah, we got the login page. Enter the username and password of the AIM admin. You can log in. Yeah, so go to top level realm. Here also we are doing the configuring in the inside the top level realm. Okay, so click on the configure SAML v2 provider. So here we have this is the application is service provider application, correct? So we have to click on the create hosted service provider. Yeah, so here also we have to give circle of trust is the my COT. Okay, now click on the configure. Okay, use the default attribute mapping from the identity provider. Whatever the values we are, because we are using the same OpenAIM, IDP also OpenAIM and SP also OpenAIM, so that's why we can select the use default attribute mapping from the identity provider. So click on the configure. Yeah, service provider is configured. You can modify the provider under the federation tab. Do you want to configure the remote provider? So we can click on the no. We can go to the next option. Okay, now we need to know what is the now we are going to configure remote identity provider in the inside the service provider. In the IDP side, in the IDP level, what we have to do here, we have to configure the remote service provider. So that is this one. To configure remote service provider, click on the create configure remote service provider. So here it is asking where URL where metadata is located. So we have to give the metadata of service provider URL. Okay, what is the service provider metadata URL? Okay, then you can see here. Okay, copy this name SAML2 JSP export metadata.jsp. Okay, so the URL is made be wrong. So let's see again here. What is the SAML2? So SAML2 export metadata. So remove this JSP. Oh, it's wrong. SAML2 export meta.jsp. Okay, let me check again. Yeah, so here the URL is wrong. So what is the URL here is wrong? So here you can see there is a SAML2 small letters. Okay, we have to use the small letters. SAML2 JSP. So here you can see the metadata service provider. What we will do, so copy this URL and go to IDP. Here it is asking URL of the metadata of service provider. Okay, now I am giving, so I given here service provider metadata URL. Then click on the configure. Okay, that's all here. So we have already selected the add to existing method and click on the configure. So service provider is configure. You can modify the provider's profile under the federation tab. Go to Federation tab. There you can see the details. Go to application and Federation. Here you can see previously only IDP was there. Now SP also came. Now click on the entity providers. Here you can see MyCart having how many entities here? 2 entities. One for the IDP, one for the SP. So those details here in the entity provider details. So here you can see this is the IDP. It was there previously. This is the hosted. It means that the same system. SP is a remote. So like this. Okay, the realm, top level realm we have configured. The same way, this IDP metadata also we have to configure in the SP side. So what is the URL again here? Copy this name IDP and what will say SAML to JSP export metadata.jsp. Yeah, so copy this one and go to here, click on the create host, sorry, not here. So go to back, cancel. So top level realm, configure SAML to pro. So we are in the SP, correct? So we have to configure the remote identity provider. Okay, give the URL of the identity provider metadata URL. So select the existing of circle of trust. Okay, click on the configure. Just very simple here. Okay, we have to give the IDP metadata URL here. So click on configure. So identity provider is configure. You can modify the provider's profile under the Federation tab. So you can see that. Yeah, go to application, Federation. So here I have a entity providers. Yeah, here also we have MyCOT and we have 2 entities the same way how we have in the IDP. Okay, now so now configuration is done in both systems, like both servers, IDP server and as well as SP server also. Now how to test this one? Okay, now how to test? We cannot use the same browsers, so that we have to use the incognito new private window from Firefox. Okay, yeah, now go to this URLs. There is a URL, correct? Yeah, now we are going to testing SP metadata URL for the root realm, this one, and SP metadata for sub realm, SP initiated. This is the URL we have to use. Okay. Copy this one. Copy this URL. Okay. So where we are testing. Okay. First I am going to testing SP. Okay. Notepad++ I am going to taking. Sorry. Okay. Now here you can see SP example.net. SP example.net SAML to JSP SP SSO init.jsp and meta alias is the /sp. Binding is HTTP post and IDP entity ID equal to, so this one. Okay, 8083 and port. So before this, first we will create some users in the IDP and SP level. Okay, so go to realm. So because right now we want users, correct? So we didn't create any users till now. So how to create the users in OpenAI? Go to identities. Here on demo is there. So we can use the same user, but we have to edit this one. Okay, demo f name. So I'm giving demo f name. Okay, demo IDP f name. Okay, demo IDP L name, just for understandable purpose. Demo IDP. Okay, what is the user full form user? Demo IDP FL name. Okay, so username is the demo only. Okay, so we'll do one thing. So we'll create the another user like add entity demo IDP. Okay, and password is something. Okay, we can give that email ID demo IDP@example org. So that is the company or you can give any email ID, but I'm giving like example.org. Now we will give the only example.com. Okay, now click on the create. Now we can give understandable like example.org. Okay, click on create. Now we can give like something demo IDP first name, demo IDP L name, last name, like that. Okay, is FL name. Okay, password we have already given, so yeah, that's all enough. So now click on the save changes. Now demo IDP user is created. Now go to SP side also. So here also you can create one user, like you can say demo SP, demo SP. Password I have given. I'm giving something. Yeah, click on demo sp@example.net. Okay, password I have given. Click on create. So now demo sp f name, just understandable purpose. Demo sp l name, demo sp fl name, full name. Okay. And this is okay. So that's also click on save changes. Now we have two users. So one user in sp, one user in adp. The user is the same user. Okay. Now how to achieve this single sign-on between these? Okay. Now open the private window. I have opened already private window. Copy this URL. I will share this URL in the description. Okay. Now paste it here. Paste it here. Now enter. Okay. See, we have initiated through SP initiated. So SP initiated not having, so it's having credentials, but it will see next. I will explain. So now we have it is redirected to the IDP. So when you are initiating from one, then it will go to the first IDP server to do the authentication. So it's redirected to the IDP application 808083. So now we have to enter the username of IDP server. So what is the username? Demo IDP and password. Click on login. Yeah. Now again it's redirected to the SP application. See. So we are mapping the between two entities, two users. So because I have one user in IDP, I have one more user in the SP. So I am the same only one person, but having the two different accounts in two different entities. So I have to make the connection between the two profiles. Okay, now I have logged in first time in the IDP. Okay, and then I am going to log in into the SP. Okay, then after the authentication of the SP, then the profile will be linked in the open IDP side. Okay, now click on the demo SP and password. Click on login. Yeah, see here, single sign-on succeeded. So single sign-on succeeded. Okay, so now close this browser. Again open the new private window, copy paste of this URL, what will happen and see. So we have started with SP initiated. So SP is redirected to the IDP. So what user we have to enter here? IDP. Okay, demo IDP and admin 123 for the password. Okay, click on login. See, now it is not asking any authentication of service provider application. Okay, so it's because of internally that IDP mapped with SP profile. Okay, suppose now we will start with IDP. Okay, IDP initiated URL. Let's start with IDP initiated URL. So this one also I'm pasting here. format word. Yeah. So this is the IDP example ORG 8083 IMIDP SAML to JSP IDP SSOinit.jsp meta alias IDP and binding HTTP post and entity ID is the our service provider application. Okay, now copy this URL. So yeah, now close this browser again, open the new private window and paste it that URL. Okay, bad request. Let me check what it is. IDP example.org 800 AMIDP SAML to JSP IDP SSO JSP meta alias IDP binding SP entity ID. So the port is wrong. Okay, what is our SP entity ID port? SP provider port is 8082. Okay, now here we have to give the 8082. Okay, this is the, see here 8082, correct? Here 8083. So the same way IDP here 8083, SP having 8082. So that is my mistake. I copy this URL again and in the same window delete that old URL and paste the new URL and enter. See, now it's we are in the same IDP only. It's not redirecting to the IDP because we are initiating it. We are initiating IDP initiate itself. Okay, so that's why we are in the same page. Okay, now enter the demo IDP and the password. Login. See, it's logged in and it's redirected to the SP application. Okay, this is the success single sign-on succeeded. Okay, so now you can enter any URL now. So again, you will paste it that URL same again and enter here. It will not ask authentication again because of it is already stored the cookies and all in the browser level. Okay, so this is the SAML2 configuration in OpenAM. Okay, yeah. So in the next video, I will show you how this OpenAM IDP OpenAM, SP OpenAM, the user is linked between two entities, correct? Two profiles. So how it is stored in the OpenDJ. I will show you that how profile are linked between SP and IDP in the next video. That link is happened in the OpenDJ side. Okay, so we need to access the OpenDJ. So that is different. We need to download Apache Directory Studio and we have to configure and we can see that how how profile was linked with IDP entity and SP entity. Okay, so this is the information. So I will share that required details in the description. Please go through that and use it. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Please share the comments and subscribe to channel to get latest updates. Thank you. Hi friends. In this video, we will discuss SAML2 Federation user profile details. What it means. When the SAML2 happened in between IDP and ASP, how the user profile is formation happened between them. Okay. In the previous video, I have explained SAML2 configuration in OpenAM. So this is the continuous video for that. So please use that to see that video and to configure the SAML2 in OpenAM. So after configuration of SAML2 in OpenAM and after testing, then how you see will understand how the user profile is link happened between the IDP and SP. So then how to access those details from the tools. So which tool you are going to using to access the user profiles. Okay. So this is a continuous video, so I am not going to explaining that configuration of the OpenAM in configuration of SAML2 in OpenAM. So I am going to showing here how to access the OpenDJ from. Okay, the OpenDJ is embedded in the OpenAM. In the previous video, I have shown OpenAM default installation. So what is the meaning of default installation? The OpenDJ is installed within the OpenAM that is called as a embedded OpenDJ. So how to access the embedded OpenDJ from the tool? So which tool we are going to using? We are going to using the Apache Directory Studio. Okay, this is one of the best and free tool to access the any LDAP directory server. Okay, so here we have a access like a IDP and we have a SP, correct? So these are the details we have, like a IDP details, the host name, port and bind DN, that is a username, and password and base DN. Okay, the same way we have a SP also. SP also we have a host name, port and bind DN. So these two LDAP directories, how to access from the Apache Directory Studio, I will show you, and we will see how the user profiles are stored. Okay, so yeah, go to open the Apache Directory Studio. I'm going to there. So yeah, here Apache DS, not Apache DS. Here we have a Directory Studio. Go to blog. Yeah, Apache Directory Studio already I have installed in my system. So if not installed in your system, you can go through the video. I will share the Apache Directory Studio installation video link in the description. Okay, I'm opening the Apache Directory Studio. So meanwhile, I have accessed the IDP application from the Firefox and SP application from the Chrome. So here we have go to the identity store here after login. Suppose you have logged in, correct? So it will be like this. This is the dashboard. Once you logged in into the OpenAIM application, go to top level realm, identity stores. Here we have a embedded OpenDJ. So this embedded OpenDJ, how to access? So click on that. You can see the server details. This is the LDAP server, sp.example.net 51389 is the port and a username and password. If you initially you don't know the password, because of that is by default OpenAIM is installed OpenDJ, correct? So that we can give the password. Okay, I am giving the password is admin1234. Okay, so after giving the password, you can click on the save changes. The same way we have to do in the IDP application also. Now go to identity stores, embedded OpenDJ. So here you can see the port is different and host name is different. Okay, because we have both two applications. One is the IDP and second one is the SP. So the host name and the ports are different, but I'm giving the username passwords are same to easily understanding. Okay, I've given the password is admin1234 here also. Click on the save changes. Okay, now we have to access this embedded OpenDJ from the Directory Studio. How to access? Okay, click on the new connection here. Once you open the Apache Directory Studio, click on the new connection. So I'm giving that AM IDP. Okay, this is just connection name. You can give anything. What are the connection details? 8 IDP. This is the IDP, correct? So give this idp.example.org. idp.example.org. After giving this one, we have to give the port. What is the port? 50389. Correct? Yeah. Then we have to give this LDAP bind in. So now go to the next. Click on the next. Here it is asking bind DN or username. So give this like this. Okay. And bind password. So just now we have updated the password like admin1234. So click on the check authentication. You can check this connection is successful or not. Now the connection was successful. Okay, click on finish. See, now we have connected the embedded OpenDJ from here, Apache Directory Studio. The same way we can access the SP embedded OpenDJ also. Okay, the same way like I'm giving SP AM SP service provider. Okay. So now go to where is our SP here. So give the sp.example.net. sp.example.net is the host name and the port is 51389. 51389. Click on next and then here you have to give the username. So what is the username here? This is the username and password admin 1234. So click on check authentication. Now authentication was successful. Click on finish. So now we are able to accessing IDP OpenDJ and SP OpenDJ. So now first go to the AM IDP. Okay. Now expand this one. Here you can see in the earlier in the previous video we have used the demo user to log in into OpenAM to for testing of SAML to federation module. Okay. Now go to OU equal to people. Now here you can see there is a user. So the demo IDP we have used for the SAML testing. So click on this. Yeah, here you can see SCN, SN, employee number, given name, INET user status, iPlanet, AM user config, and mail. And here these are the two important parameters. This is for the establishing the connection between the IDP and the SP. Okay, so here you can see SNM SAML to name ID info. So this is the IDP server, correct? So idp.example.com 8083 AMIDP slash. So it is linked with the SAML2. So this is some token, some encryption information to make the connection without login again in the SP. Okay, initially, whenever we are trying to log in into IDP, then both case it will ask the authentication. After done both case authentication, no need to again log in into SP. Once you logged in into IDP, automatically your SP will not ask the re-authentication. So these are the these are two parameters like info key. By using these two parameters, the second time the SP service will not ask the re-authentication. Okay, the same way you can see in the SP also. Click on the SP here. Click on expanding. Please expand this one. Yeah, go to O equal to people and demo SP. So here also the C. So these two demo SP and demo IDP, these users are different users but made a single sign-on. Okay, so here also it is saved this information. Okay, see here the key is there same, correct? Right now I am in the AM IDP. Here you can see the info key. So this is the last JBO. The same way you can see here in the SP application, this is JBO. So that's why in any one of the application, if you log in, the second application will not ask the re-authentication. Okay. These are the two parameters are very important to make the single sign-on in the OpenAM, where we are using the OpenAM as IDP and OpenAM as a service provider. But in the real time, if you have a general application, then SP side how you want to store the data, that is according to your requirement you have to store it. Okay, so this is the information how the user profile is link formation how it happened between the IDP and SP. Okay, now we'll show you like one test here. Okay, now clicking on logout here. So we will create one new user. Okay, click on this identity. I'm giving some demo SP2. Okay, so it is a IDP, correct? So I'm giving demo IDP2. Password is something I'm giving admin 1234 like that for remembering. So demo IDP2 @example.org. See here two different accounts. Okay, so click on create. Yeah, so the same way we can create at the SP side also. Go to identities. Now give demo SP2. Okay, and password admin 1234. So no need to give the same password. Okay, you can give the different password, but for demo perspective, I'm giving the same password. So demo SP2 @example.net. Click on create. Okay, now to account, suppose we have created a user for the same user but with different details in the IDP and SP details. Now how to achieve single sign-on? Just let's log out here. Else you can go open the new private window. Okay, No, private window you might be confused. So I will log out here only. IDP, sorry. Okay, return to login here. So now we need the IDP initiate URL. How to test this one? Okay, we have here. Yeah, this is the IDP initiating test. Okay, IDP initiated URL. Now copy this URL. I'm pasting here. Okay, it's a bad request. Something IP is wrong. Let's take port is different. Might be 8083 80. It's not 8081. It's 8082. So okay, I will update in the PPT also. So here is this one. It's 8082. Yeah. So now we have done IDP initiate. Okay. So now enter the IDP username and password. So what is the IDP username and password? Demo IDP2 and password. So now we are logging the user as a first time. So then definitely it will the SP's application also will ask the authentication. Okay. So demo IDP2. Yeah. Click on login. See, once authentication successful at IDP side, then it is redirected to the SP application. Like here you can see, now we are in the SP login page. Okay, now give the demo ESP2. Okay, and give the password. Now these two links, between these two profile, the link formation happened. Click on login. Yeah, single sign-on succeeded. Now you can see, go to the Apache Directory Studio. Now go to IDP. Now refresh this one. Refresh. Yeah, there is a demo IDP2. So here also the access key is changed for this user. Okay, go to that SP OpenDJ. Here also you can see that key also changed. So means that the both IDP and SP should be having the same key so that it will achieve the single sign-up. Go to OU people and demo SP. Here also 1Z. The last name is like 1Z. So here also 1Z. So like this, the user profile is a link formation happened between IDP and SP. Now let's take the same URL again. What will happen? Let's see. Oh, sorry. Copy this URL and paste it here. Now it will not ask because already the session is created. Okay. Now close this URL. Okay. Close this browser and again open Firefox. Paste the same URL, that is the IDP initiated URL. Enter this one. So where is the user details? Like IDP. So what is the server IDP? So it will redirect to that IDP server. Okay. So then enter the demo IDP and demo IDP2. Okay. Now enter the password. So now the OpenAIM IDP will validate this user details and it will check this user is already exist or not in the SP side also. So then if it is existing, then it will validate that SAML key and all, info key and all. If it is both are same, then it will not ask the re-authentication at SP side. So SP will directly give the single sign-on succeeded like that. So click on login. See, now it is not asked the re-authentication at SP side. So SP side directly allowed that user showing like a single sign-on succeeded. Yeah. Okay. This is the like a user profile how established between the two different entities. Okay. Hi friends. Today we will discuss how to configure SAML2 authentication module in OpenAIM. In the previous video, I have explained how to configure SAML2 in OpenAIM. So this is the continuous video. So please go through the previous video and use this video to configure SAML2 authentication module. Okay. So before going to explain, so I'm going to start the applications. So we have to go to Forgerock folder, blog, and we have a SAML2. So in the previous video, I have explained like how to configure the IDP Tomcat and how to configure the SP Tomcat. Okay, now I'm going to start the IDP Tomcat. So Cadmium button. The same way we have to start the SP Tomcat also. So type here like a CMD. Here also you have to type the same command. So it will take 1 minute, might be, because of it's depending on the system performance. Okay. Yeah, the Tomcats are started. Okay, now here you can see Tomcat start up in this minutes. Okay, the same way SP and IDP both are started. Now we'll go to open the application. Okay, now go to Firefox. Okay, here we can access the IDP application. Like you can say here idpexample.org 8083. Okay, these are the details we have already, like you see here. So this is done already in the previous video. Identity provider, SPA provider configuration. Yeah. So this is our prerequisite setups, and these are the important URLs for the IDP and as well as SP also. Okay. Yeah. Now, so we are accessing the IDP OpenAM. The same way we have to access SP application from Chrome. Okay. SP.example. Yeah. So now we are able to accessing IDP and SP application in two different browsers. Okay, so don't open both applications in the same browser because of we are maintaining OpenAIM using the cookies now. So then you cannot able to log in in the same in different users in the same browser. But better clear understanding. So we have to log in. We have to access both applications in different browsers. Okay. Now we are in the IDP. So go to IDP application, log in into our IDP application by using AMadmin username and password. Okay. So go to top level realm. So here already we have done in the SAML2 configuration in the previous video. So I will show you what are the things already we have done. Go to the application and federation. So here already we have exported the imported the SAML metadata information of SP into IDP. The same way IDP metadata imported into the SP. Okay, so here also you can log in into SP application and see the details. Go to application federation. Here you can see entity providers. Yeah, so already I have done SAML2 configuration in both OpenAIM servers, because OpenAIM providing IDP as well as SP. Means OpenAIM will act as a acting as a IDP provider as well as service provider. Okay. So now we have to configure how to configure SAML2 authentication module. Okay. Then go to the so we are going to configuring the authentication module in the service provider. Okay. Now go to top level relay and go to authentication. Go to modules. So here click on the add module. So I'm going to giving SAML2 test. SAML2 test. So already I have given the same name, so I will give different name. SAML test. Okay. SAML test. Okay. And select the SAML2. Give the SAML2 test new. Okay. So click on create. Yeah. So this is the form we need to fill. Like what are the things we need to fill, I will tell you. So here IDP entity ID we have to give, and we have to know here SP meta alias is by default is the SP, and we have to, it will be like a true only, allow IDP to create the name ID and all. And here no need to do any changes here, just we have to add the IDP entity ID. Okay, the IDP entity ID is nothing but this URL of the our IDP application, idp.example.com 803. So okay, click on save changes. Okay, you can also see here what is the IDP, how to take, why you have to take the only this name. Okay, because of already we have imported the IDP metadata information into SP. So here also you can get it the metadata IDP entity ID. Go to this application federation, go to entity providers. Yeah, here you can see, click on this one. Okay, this is the entity provider. So this name only we have to give. Okay, this name only we have to give there, whereas IDP entity ID. Okay, so now we have configured the authentication SAML to authentication module. So go to authentication and module SAML test new. Okay, so here only we have given the IDP entity ID, and apart from that we didn't given anything. Okay, we didn't give anything. So now, yeah, now we have done the configuration. Now how to validate this is SAML test new module working. Okay, now go open the incognito window better. Okay, now sp.example. So we have configured where inside the sp. So we have to use the sp application here. XUA question mark and auth in. Yeah, you can, if you want, you can add the realm also, but we have configured the authentication module in the inside the top level realm. So you have to mention realm equal to slash and ampersand auth index type equal to module. In the same way, we have to give auth index value. So these are the authentication module accessing. Already I have explained many videos, so you can go through those videos and see that how we are typing the URL and all. So auth index type equal to module. If it is a chain, we have to type the service. So then auth index value we have to give the name, authentication module name, like a SAML to test new we have given, correct? So give it like this. Yeah, enter. See now it's redirected to the IDP application. It's redirected to the IDP application. Okay, now we'll do one thing. So we'll create a new user for this authentication module testing. Okay, go to the identities. So click on identities, like demo SP3. So I'm giving this username and admin1234 demo SP3 @example.net. Click on create. Same way, click on save changes. The same way in the IDP side also, I'm going to creating one more account. We are in the IDP application. Go to identities, click on identity, demo, IDP3, and a password. You have to give anything, and give that email ID, idp3@example.org. Okay. Yeah, so now we have created users in IDP as well as in SP also. Okay, so now we have, so this is the, you can think this is the one user only, but the user having the different email IDs and different username in IDP, and the same way different username and different email ID in the SP also. So now we are going to making the single sign-on by using the SAML to authentication module. Okay. So here also we have a demo SP3. So now go to our previous window. So now, so I will share that authentication module how to execute. Okay. So here we have entered this. So I will show you once again. SP application AMSP slash XUA question mark XUA question mark realm equal to slash, because of its top level realm, and then auth index type equal to module auth index value equal to SAML2 test new. Okay, yeah, that's enter. Now it's redirecting to, so somewhere we have written wrong. XUA question mark realm equal to slash auth index type equal to module auth index value equal to test new. Yeah, it's correct. Let's once again. Yeah, it's now redirect to the IDP application. Now enter the IDP username and password. So what is the demo IDP 3 and password. Click on login. Unable to link local user to remote user. Okay, yeah, we'll check that configuration again. Yeah, we will log again. We will try to re-log in the same thing. sp.example.8082 AMSP. Sorry. With this URL, I opened Firefox in private window. So here we have to type realm equal to slash auth index type equal to module auth index value equal to SAML2 test new. Yeah, enter. So now it's redirected to the IDP application. Then enter the username demo IDP 3 and password. So click again, return to login here. So this is not linked with already SP account. So it is showing the the account IDP account not linked with the SP account. That's why it is showing here. Then you click again on login. Then it will enter the. Then here you have to enter the SP username and password. So what is the SP username and password? Demo SP3 and password. Click on login. Single sign-on succeeded. Okay, so now try to again access the same application again, like a slash realm index type equal to module and index value equal to SAML2 test new. Okay, copy this URL. Maybe you can use it later also. Yeah, enter. See, now it's coming to the profile page is displaying. Okay, because of it's already the user is logged in. Okay, then close this browser again, open the new private window, again try to access the same application. Then what will happen? See, so this SP application is redirected to the IDP application. Then now again enter the IDP username and password, then demo IDP 3 and admin 1 2 3 4. So now what will happen next? It will not ask re-authentication in SP because of this already account is linked with the SP account. Okay, click on login. See, now directly single sign-on succeeded came. So now it is asking only one-time authentication. That is the only IDP side, not asking at SP side. So both side asking authentication at the time of initial time. Okay. So that is the authentication module. Okay. So so this is the configuration of authentication module in SP side. Okay. No need, because SP we have providing the services, correct? So we are going to using the IDP application